Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got a pistol red dot to take a look at. This one's coming from ADE, Advanced Optics, and the model is the Nuwa Pro. This is going to fit the RMS or RMSc footprint. It's going to have motion activation, a top load battery, and be very budget friendly. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll do a real quick unboxing. We'll go over all the features and specifications. I'll show you guys what the reticle looks like. Get it mounted to something, get out to the range, do a little bit of testing with it, and then get some thoughts on it. Quickly show you around the packaging here before I get it out. The RD3-021 Pro is the actual model number, but the model name is the Nuwa Pro. There's some of their information, and then here's one of their cards. Looks like we're going to have a 3 MOA dot and then a 66 MOA circle. Some of the sizes there, and it is going to be a green dot with a green circle, and then a little more of the specs there, and we'll go over some of that stuff here in a bit. Alright, besides the red dot, let's see what all is included here in this package. So it looks to be some type of adapter plate. To figure out what that's for, we have some tools, and it looks like a bunch of screws in here. I'll pull all those out for you in a minute. A manual, like a lens cleaning cloth, the battery, it is a 1632, and a cover for the red dot. They actually have the red dot screwed down into this thing, that way it doesn't move or shift or anything like that during shipping. And there is everything that was inside that little baggie. There's also these two screws that were holding the red dot into that packaging, but I don't know the screw size on these ones. Couldn't find it in the manual, couldn't find it on the website or the Amazon listing. So it probably would be nice if ADE, if they would maybe just include like another baggie that's empty that has like the label for what size these are, because if you're not using these ones, it would be nice just to put them into that baggie. So here is the Nuwa Pro. I'm going to give you guys some close-ups before we start going over all the details. So this does have an all aluminum body, but I don't know if it's 6061 or 7075. I assume it's 6061, but I couldn't find that information anywhere. But it's supposed to be one of the smallest, most compact, and one of the lightest RMS or RMSc red dots on the market. Grab you the exact dimensions here. We're looking at a length of 1.5 inches. A width of 0.9 inches, a height of about 0.8 inches, and then I'll show you the height right here so you know when you mount it what your rear sight's going to be, 0.3 inches. We are looking at a total weight of 1/2 ounce. Or 14 grams. That included cover fits on it really well. Super snug. Contours to it nicely. This is going to have an IP67 waterproof rating, so you can use this in the rain, snow, humid climates. If it drops in a puddle, it's fine. So no worries there. And I couldn't find an actual recoil rating. It just says up to 9mm. We got a battery put in it here next. Again, top load battery. So once we do get this mounted to our pistol and we get it zeroed in, we'll never have to remove the red dot again to change out the battery, so you don't have to keep re-zeroing every time you change out a battery. Alright, before I turn it on, I'll kind of show you around things. This is our power button right here. This is how you're going to turn it on, turn it off, and adjust your brightness. But again, it does have that motion awake. So once we really turn it on for the first time, we won't really have to continue to do that. We do have some backup sights right here. We're going to have our elevation adjustment up on top, our windage adjustment over on the side. This also is going to have a multi-coated reticle here that allows for like more light transmission to come through. It also helps prevent scratches on that lens. And the emitter is going to be tucked kind of down in here. And so to turn it on for the first time, we're just going to press that button on the side there. And I know it's going to look very, very bright and big on the camera. This is on level 6. There are 6 visible settings and 1 night vision setting. Let's kind of go down through them. And it will start, or it'll come on at whatever brightness you have it programmed or set at. So that's 5 right there. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the night vision. And then it will go back to 6. So it kind of goes brightest to lowest and then cycles back. I don't know if that white background's any better or not, but just trying to get the camera to focus so you can see that 3 MOA dot inside of that 66 MOA circle. If you decide you want to manually shut it off, you can press and hold this button for like 2 seconds and then the dot shuts off. But now you've basically deactivated the motion awake. So if this thing gets moved and stuff, it will not come back on. So you do have to be on for the motion awake to actually work. I believe the time on this is 5 minutes. So if it does not detect any type of movement or motion for 5 minutes, it will power itself off. With the slightest bump of any type of movement, it automatically comes back on. And I will test this dozens of times over the next couple weeks. I'm going to get this mounted next. Just so YouTube knows, I'm working in a completely safe environment. All firearms are unloaded, no ammo anywhere around, and by putting a red dot onto a pistol, it does not modify the pistol in any way whatsoever. The pistol still does exactly the same as what it was originally manufactured to do. And again, this is the RMSc footprint. This is going to fit pretty much all those micro 9mm, like your SIG P365, the Shield Pluses, your Glock 43Xs, the Springfield Hellcat, just guns like that. So I ended up throwing it on this TX22 compact. Show you guys what it's going to look like here. Really nice fit. I believe the slide on this is around 1 inch. And it definitely does not stick over at all. And hopefully you can see from this angle that those built-in rear sights, I can co-witness down here with my front sight. And for those of you wondering, you typically want to go around maybe 12 to 15 inch-pounds on the torque setting for those screws. Alright guys, out at the range this morning with that Nuwa Pro. I'm going to get it sighted in and then probably put 50 to 100 rounds total through it. Make sure there aren't any problems with the dot, flickering or shutting off or anything crazy like that. Well, I ended up putting 100 rounds total through this, and I did not encounter any issues whatsoever. So I gotta say, overall, I really like this Nuwa Pro Red Dot. The build quality seems to be very good. There's no obvious signs of like poor quality control or anything. The glass is very clear. There's no like fisheye or distortion that I notice. The dot itself, very crisp, very bright. I like that it has that top loading battery. Again, once you get your optic zeroed in, you don't have to re-zero it every time you change out that battery. I like that it has that motion awake or shake awake technology. It helps conserve the battery. I have tested that dozens, if not hundreds of times over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it's worked flawlessly every single time. And another huge pro for this is the price, which I'll go over in just a little bit. A couple of things to make you aware of. This is a very small optic. Therefore, the glass is very small. And I'll be honest, it took me probably 3 or 4 magazines to get to where I could easily find the reticle, just because it's such a small window to kind of look through. So you do have to get used to it. And the other thing that I'll say is typically, like when I'm racking a gun, I'll bring my entire hand over top of the optic like this here and pull back on the slide like this. And there were a couple times that I accidentally adjusted my brightness. You know, I'm here and I'm pulling back and my thumb must have hit that little button right there because it's so close to the slide. Now that could obviously be avoided by just going lower like this here. But the way I normally do it with my normal grip and stuff like that, I did hit it a couple times. So I talked about the price being a pro on these. And at the time of me making this video, these are coming in at less than $100 on Amazon, which I think is just an absolutely fantastic price on them. They have the black one and they also have an FDE or a tan one for the same price. And I will leave that Amazon link down in the video description in case you guys want to find out more information on the red dot, if you want to read some of the reviews, or if you want to pick one up. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.